Hello and welcome to the Dutch Harp Festival's World Harp Competition. I'm Elizabeth Jaxon, Competition Director. We've just opened applications for the competition, and so starting today until our deadline of November 1st, we're inviting everyone to apply. Unlike some of the more standard international harp competitions that exist, this competition has a very different format. One of the main differences is that we don't have a list of required repertoire. We also invite our candidates to exercise much more freedom over how they present for the jury. This freedom can be absolutely freeing, but it can also be overwhelming if you're not quite sure what to do with it. And so that's why I've created this video series, so that I can answer some of the more common questions that I've gotten from candidates in the past, and so that I have the chance to explain what makes this competition unique and special. One question that I've received several times in the past is, do I need to perform my music by memory? We don't have any requirements about this, and so I say, it's up to you. That's the answer to the question, but I think what they're asking is, should I perform my music from memory? I would like to propose that with this kind of decision and every other choice you're going to make while you're deciding how to present yourself to the jury, you use the following approach. Ask yourself the question, how will I stand out? And when you ask yourself this question, it really helps to try to see things from the perspective of the jury. The jury is going to have many different candidates to see. They're going to be inundated with different performances, different playing styles. They're looking to be touched by the music. They're looking for somebody who stands out, not just in how perfectly they play the harp, but in what they have to say from the stage and what kind of repertoire they choose and their whole presence. Going back to the question of should I perform my music from memory? If I think about sitting on the jury of this competition, just as a disclaimer, I am not going to be on the jury, so this is just an example. When I see somebody perform by memory, it gives me the impression that they're well prepared, they really have their music internalized, and they've put a lot of effort into this performance. I appreciate that as an audience member. It gives me a sense of that I can sit back in my chair and just enjoy the performance. And I think it's pretty standard in competitions these days to play your music by memory. But if I had the choice between two candidates, one of whom performed everything perfectly from memory, it was a good, solid performance, but it was boring and it was music that I've heard before, and a second candidate who really touched me with their music, who surprised me and delighted me with what they brought to the stage, but who also performed with the music stand, then there's a chance I would really prefer the second candidate. There's many variables to consider, and so you really need to think about what are your strengths. What do you bring that nobody else can bring to the stage? How are you going to connect with your listener and touch the hearts of the jury? That's why this question is so key. How will I stand out? And the answer is going to be different for everybody. Here at the World Harp Competition, we're hoping to provide a platform that more closely resembles the world that musicians face in the 21st century. Once you've prepared for the World Harp Competition, regardless of what happens, whether you win or lose, you will have taken a step further in finding your own musical voice and in thinking about how you're going to present yourself to the world. In that sense, it's a win-win situation. So coming up next in this video series, we're going to have an episode on the original program. I'm going to try to give some tips and inspiration for what you might like to think about when creating your original program. After that, we'll talk about the application procedure, and next we'll have a video about the jury. The final video will be a session of questions and answers to tie up any loose ends. So see you next time and good luck.